What are the various forms of changes, physical and chemical changes? Now this is a very important topic under NCERT, even under ICSC, and common mistakes that you have seen, that certain processes are only reversible, certain processes are irreversible. But here in this class we would remove the myth. Both the physical and the chemical changes can be reversible or irreversible. We'll discuss with examples as we proceed, but some few important things that we must know at this point. What is a chemical change? Chemical change is basically a change where there is a break in bonds, right? So when there is a break in the configuration of electrons of an atom, there would be a chemical change. Any change which does not involve this breaking of the bond would be a physical change. If the change involves the change in the number of not just the electron, but it involves a change in the number of proton or neutron, we call it as a nuclear change. Right? And the most important thing that we discussed and will be discussing today is both the physical changes and chemical changes can be reversible and irreversible. We'll take some examples to help you understand. Physical change, there is no break of bonds, right? So I stretch a rubber band and it regains its shape when I leave it. So stretching a rubber band and leaving it would be a physical change. But what kind of physical change? It would be a reversible physical change. Melting of the wax. Now when I'm saying melting of wax, the wax would melt. It would again come to the room temperature and solidify and again become wax. We are not talking about the loss of the wax in the form of heat, not that. Just focus on the process that that the wax melts and then again deposits, right? So that's a reversible process. And then cutting of a paper. If the paper is being cut, I can put glue, I can put tape and join it again. So it's a reversible. I can have the whole paper again. What are examples of irreversible changes? Breaking of a glass. Now if the glass breaks, it is into small fragments and it's practically not possible to join them again. So breaking of glass. If I am actually burning a piece of paper, right, the paper would turn into ashes and this would be an irreversible process. Now, but when I'm talking about chemical changes, I'm talking about breaking of bonds. So, dissolving NaCl in water, I heat it, I can separate sodium, the salt and water again. Similarly, if I have ferrous chloride solution, then again I can, based on the concentration, it is a reversible process. I can add water or acid of different concentration and get the solution back. So it's a reversible process. But what is a chemical process which is irreversible? For example, rusting of iron. So once the iron rusts, I cannot regain the same amount of iron back because there has been a reaction with oxygen and water that has taken place. And because of that, the rust has been generated. Digestion of food. Once the food is digested, I cannot take it into a raw form again. So it is an irreversible process. Similarly, if a wood is burned, then again it is released in the form of heat and energy and the original wood cannot be recovered, right? So burning of wood would be an irreversible change, where we understand that the chemical composition has changed, right? And this is really important to understand why we are talking about the changes under physical and chemical changes. Under physical irreversible change, I can also say there is cracking of egg. So egg, if it is cracked, okay, I can just keep it again and make it feel like one, right? But that is a physical change. There is no breaking of bonds that is done, and it is a physical change process that could be seen. So those are some of the important things that we have discussed in it. A detailed lecture on physical and chemical changes is available, and this is indeed a very important topic for your examination like Olympiads, where many questions are asked from this section. So practice well, and if you have any questions, get back to us.